Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Leo here, and I hope you're doing great today. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video so more people can learn English with us. So, let me tell you about my day. Honestly, I'm exhausted. I had a long 3-hour meeting at work this morning. 3 hours! My boss wants a huge numbers report, and of course, it has to be finished by Friday. No pressure, right? But that wasn't even the worst part. Two of my colleagues, Tom and Sarah, had a little moment. Tom is the type of guy who talks a lot, like really a lot. Sarah is the opposite. She likes to work quietly, and today, Tom said something, I don't even know what exactly, that made Sarah look really upset. After that, the whole room felt tense. You know that awkward silence? Yeah, that one. So now I'm planning to bring coffee and cookies tomorrow to help break the ice. Coffee solves everything, or at least it helps people pretend their problems don't exist for 10 minutes. But before we move on, I want to go back to that moment at work with Tom and Sarah. That tension in the room, it actually gave me a great idea for an English lesson. When that happened, I wanted to say something, but I couldn't think of the right phrase. So I went home and looked up some useful idioms for dealing with awkward situations, and I want to share them with you. To break the ice. You already heard me use this. It means to make people who have not met before or who are feeling awkward feel more relaxed. That's why I'm bringing the coffee and cookies. I'm trying to break the ice between Tom and Sarah. To cut the tension with a knife. This is a great visual idiom. It means the atmosphere is so tense, so stressful, that you could almost physically slice through it. That silence after they argued, you could literally cut the tension with a knife. To clear the air, this means to discuss a problem so that the bad feelings go away. My hope is that the coffee will help them sit down and clear the air before Monday. So, if you're a little introverted like me and you struggle in these situations, try practicing those phrases. Anyway, let me tell you something much happier. My best friend, Maria, is getting married next month. She told me the news yesterday, and I'm still excited for her. We've been friends for years, and seeing her start this new chapter feels amazing. Of course, she needs help with wedding stuff, so I'm helping her choose a dress for the big day. Not her wedding dress, don't worry, just her guest dress for one of the events. And honestly, choosing a dress is complicated. What color? What length? What shoes? Should she go with light colors, dark colors, something with sparkles? And don't even get me started on finding the right tailor. I have a little update on the dress shopping. We spent about an hour just looking at different shades of the same color. For example, did you know there are like 20 different types of blue? You have navy, royal blue, sky blue, sapphire, cobalt. Maria's fiancé, the other Leo, is wearing a navy suit, and Maria wants her guest dress to complement it, not clash. The big debate right now is about the length. Should she go for a floor-length gown, something very formal, or a cocktail-length dress, which hits just below the knee? The wedding is outdoors, so we're leaning towards something a little easier to move in. We also started talking about the seating chart. Oh my goodness, that's where things get complicated. Maria is trying to figure out where to place all the relatives who haven't spoken to each other in 20 years. It's a real-life puzzle. She keeps saying, I'm tearing my hair out, which is a great phrase that means you're extremely worried or frustrated. I told her to relax, and that's what best friends are for. But the cutest part is how she met her fiancé. His name is Leo too, by the way. That always confuses people. He's a doctor, and they met at the supermarket. She dropped a bag of apples. He helped her pick them up. They started talking, and you know how these things go. One apple falls, and suddenly you have a wedding. It happened in the produce section of the supermarket. Maria was reaching for a huge bag of gala apples, and it slipped. Apples went rolling everywhere. It was like a comedy sketch. She was mortified. Dr. Leo was right there, looking at avocados, and he immediately dropped his basket and started helping her. They were both laughing so hard, he made a little joke, saying, "Well, I guess the doctor will see you now for your vitamin C deficiency." And that was it. It's one of those classic romantic moments you read about, and it makes me so happy for her. It just proves that you never know where you're going to meet the love of your life. Maybe I should start spending more time in the produce aisle, right? Maybe my future husband is currently looking for the perfect cucumber. As for me, my weekend plans are pretty simple. I need to finish that stressful report, unfortunately. But after that, I'm ordering pizza and watching a funny movie. I think I deserve that. Maria will be busy with wedding shopping, and then she has a dinner date with her fiancé. I know I said I'd finish the report this weekend, and I'm making a promise to all of you right now. I'm going to use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break to get it done. It's going to be tough because it's so heavy on the data, but I'm determined. And that pizza and movie, that's my reward. I'm trying to decide between ordering a classic pepperoni or maybe something a little more adventurous, like a pineapple and ham pizza. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think pineapple belongs on pizza? It's the ultimate English conversational debate. Once that report is submitted, I will feel like I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Remember, learning English isn't just about grammar books, it's about listening to real conversations, like this one, and picking up on those natural phrases and idioms we use every day. Tell me in the comments, what did you do yesterday, or what are you planning this weekend? I love reading your stories. Try using one of the 3 tension-related idioms I taught you today, and definitely let me know your thoughts on pineapple on pizza. If you enjoyed this longer, more in-depth chat, please let me know by hitting that like button. It helps the channel a ton. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more natural English stories and conversations. Until the next time, keep practicing your English, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.